Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. This is the 8th meeting of 2026 and the 60th meeting of the current term of the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County. Will all members of the council, as well as the public, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation is being offered this evening by Pastor Rick Roberts of St. John's Lutheran Church. He is the guest of District 15 Council Member Jeff Gregg. Welcome, Pastor Roberts. You are recognized.
Thank you. In our tradition, we begin prayers with the Lord be with you, and people respond and also with you. It's kind of like, are you ready? And let's go. The Lord be with you. Good and gracious God, you are known by many names, by many different people and different faith traditions. We thank you for this day that you have given us. We thank you for the many blessings that you continue to shower down on all people. Help us to know those blessings. Help us to share those blessings. And as we go through this meeting, may we truly listen to each other and hear each other and work together for the common good. We lift all of this up in your most holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic and one nation, God. Thank you very much, Pastor Roberts. Welcome, council and community members, on what is a dark day for democracy and voting rights in Tennessee. I do still want to make sure to thank everyone who put themselves forward in Tuesday's local election. Congratulations to those who prevailed, and thanks to those who volunteered in support of candidates, and especially thank you to the voters. With not quite 6% of active voters having participated in Tuesday's election, it is so very important that we encourage all of Davidson County's 478,000 registered voters to exercise that right in upcoming elections, and for all eligible persons to make sure they register to vote. As elected officials, we will do our best, as always, to make sure Nashvillians have the information they need to exercise their vote in an increasingly confusing and unfair environment where partisan state officials are disenfranchising Tennesseans and choosing their voters. I will spend some time tomorrow trying to figure out what congressional district that I and various family members live in now. Please help your friends, family, and constituents to do the same. This summer, students from Nashville will be traveling to our sister cities around the world as official ambassadors. They are with us in the chamber this evening to take their oath and will soon cross oceans to represent our city and our country, which used to be the envy of the world. Young people, I will tell you, you are going to get a lot of disheartened questions about what is going on in the United States. I had the privilege of representing Nashville in our sister city of Caen, Normandy, France last year for their Millennium Celebration. The people of Normandy, especially, who have so much admiration and gratitude for the American soldiers who fought and died on their shores and in their towns and villages to liberate France and Europe from fascism, were saddened and flabbergasted that the United States, of all places, was slipping into authoritarianism. I hope you will learn all that you can from the form of the cities you visit and stay in. Experience their urban design and walkable neighborhoods, their investments in bikeable infrastructure, and bring that knowledge and expectation back to Nashville too. This is Bike Month after all. I will also share that when students from Caen, France, Magdeburg, Germany, and Mendoza, Argentina came to this chamber as our guests in the last year for our Local Government 101 presentation, they had very pointed questions about the rise of fascism in America and about racism in the United States. They were not afraid to use those words, and they were highly interested in Nashville's civil rights history and legacy. So I hope you will talk about all this with the families with whom you are staying and represent Nashville and the United States honestly and well as citizen diplomats. These human connections in dark times, when history is reversing and repeating itself, are very important. All right, We have 11 great local area schools represented here today: MLK, USN, St. Cecilia, Whites Creek, Hunters Lane, Harpeth Hall, MBA, Brentwood Academy, and BGA. We'll allow it. Y'all are a little outside of Nashville, but you're in the greater Nashville region. James Lawson High School, with the largest representation from Hume-Fogg High School with 9 students. Welcome to you all and to your families and your chaperones. We will now proceed to the oath administration and the Sister Cities Ambassadors Oath. Would the students who will be Nashville's ambassadors to Mendoza please rise? Students who will be ambassadors to Kong, please stand. And now the students serving as ambassadors to Magdeburg. All right. Would you all please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I pledge to represent the city of Nashville to the best of my abilities as an official Sister Cities ambassador. I will share the culture of Nashville and respect the culture of my host city. I will honor our partners and partnerships as I do my own part in this important international exchange. All right, congratulations to you all. All right, you may be seated. All right, without objection, we will suspend the calling of the roll and ask the clerk to please record the names of the members present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of the meeting of April 21st, 2026? There is a motion properly seconded. Without objection, and seeing no one seeking to be recognized for a change to the minutes, okay, the minutes of the meeting of April 21st are approved. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
Yes, Vice Mayor, we have 2 messages.
All right, Mr. Clerk, go ahead.
Dear Vice Mayor Henderson and members of council, last week in my State of Metro address, I laid out a vision for a city that's affordable, safe, and a place where we can all achieve the better future we imagine for ourselves. I followed up the address on Friday by filing the 3rd operating budget of our shared term, one focused on addressing affordability for our residents and employees. In my budget, I recommended cutting the local option sales tax on groceries by 22%, so that in a time when almost everything costs more, in Nashville, it will cost a little less to feed your family. The budget recommends a $69 million investment into the Unified Housing Strategy to improve housing affordability, and it fully funds the 2nd year of our employee pay plan so that Metro employees can also keep pace with the growing economy. Overall, the budget continues to invest in quality schools, reliable services, and overall safety. It also reflects the economic realities of the local, state, and national level and requires Metro to tighten its belt to ensure we remain financially strong and stable. Attached to this message, please also find our recent State of Tennessee reporting forms, which include recently reaffirmed credit ratings from the 3 primary bond rating agencies. Thank you for your support and partnership on our shared priorities, and I extend my thanks to our Department of Finance for their impressive work. Sincerely, Mayor Freddie O'Connell. Dear Vice Mayor Henderson and members of council, pursuant to regulations of the Tennessee Comptroller's Office, please find the attached State of Tennessee reporting forms for the 2026 Series D general obligation bonds in the amount of $556,660,000. The 2026 Series D bonds were issued to refinance outstanding bonds and were authorized through Resolution RS 2026-1772 on February 3rd, 2026. Metro Nashville's strong financial management was recognized by the 3 primary bond rating agencies who reaffirmed our credit ratings. Moody's, S&P, and Kroll rating agencies specifically acknowledged Metro's well-maintained financial operations supported by sound financial debt and fund balance policies. Metro secured a favorable aggregate interest rate of 3.188% for its 2026 D bonds, which resulted in net present value savings of $18,830,686. As always, we appreciate the Metropolitan Council's support on these important financing initiatives. Sincerely, Freddie O'Connell, Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Clerk, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for those messages. All right. Next, we are on Section E of our agenda, elections. Candidates in this category were subject to a recommendation vote by the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee and an election by the council. Item E1 is an election to fill one vacancy on the Health and Education Facilities Board with a term expiring September 30th of 2028. Without objection, with only one candidate, Mr. Chair, do you have a report to share, sir? Yes. Go ahead.
We voted in favor of Nick Cavan, 7-0. Thank
you, sir. Again, without objection, with only one candidate and having heard the report of Chair Cash for this vacancy, this seat on the Health and Education Facilities Board, we can do this election by voice. No objection there. Okay. Would all members in favor of Mr. Nick Cavan please say aye? Aye. Any noes or abstentions? All right. Council has elected Mr. Nick Cavan. Congratulations. All right. Next is Section F, Appointees and Nominees. This portion of the agenda shares all persons who were scheduled to appear before the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee for an interview this evening. Referrals back to the committee will be by rule as part of the council's two-meeting process for elections and confirmations. No votes will be taken by the body in this section of the agenda other than for deferrals. Chair Cash, your brief report, please. No vote totals necessary. Simply the name of those interviews and for which seats, and if a person in the appointment and confirmation process was unable to attend your committee this evening, at what next meeting they will appear, please, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Airport Authority appointment of Marcus Shute and Steve Swartz. Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission appointment of Winston Wright. East Bank Development Authority. I'm sorry. Those are, yeah, we interviewed Nathaniel Carter, and Mr. Bob Braswell was withdrawn.
Okay.
Farmers Market Board appointment of Sylvia Marcela Gomez. The Historic Zoning Commission reappointment of Elizabeth Mayhall. Midtown Central Business Improvement District Board of Directors Andrew Cook. Property Standards and Appeals Board, we interviewed Grafton Brittle and Roger Farmer. For the Short-Term Rental Appeals Board, we interviewed Diamond Bell and Kevin Griffith. For the Sustainability Advisory Committee, Caroline Everett was withdrawn. For the Tourism and Convention Commission, the reappointment of Dr. Sybil Brown and Mark Hayes for Tourism and Convention as well.
Okay. All right. You've heard the report of Chair Cash, and just to be clear, because all referrals will be by rule to the next step, but Mr. Bob Braswell has been withdrawn from consideration for the East Bank Development Authority, and Ms. Caroline Everett has been withdrawn for consideration for the Sustainability Advisory Committee. All right, now for G, confirmations. Chair Cash, you're recognized again for your committee report on the appointees in the second step of your committee's two-meeting process with vote totals and a consolidated motion for the confirmation of those persons, or first for a deferral motion if there are any.
Yep, I will say they were all approved 7-0.
Okay.
With the Action Commission, the appointment of John Michael for Midtown Central Business Improvement District. I'm about to read a bunch of them. Michael Babb, Walt Burton, Lisa Holler, Andre LaQuire, Julia Baker, Bob Franklin, Allie Hall Eagles, Emily Schneller, Donovan Sheffield, Charlie Couture, Chris Gala, Malik Gay, Keith Siebenaller. Those were all for the Midtown Central Business Improvement District Board of Directors. Then Parks and Recreation Board, reappointment of Dr. Michelle Steele. Short-Term Rental Appeals Board, appointment of David Kleinfelter. The Sustainability Advisory Committee, reappointment of Cesar Castro. And Sustainability Advisory Committee, appointment of Laura Donahue. Again, all those votes were 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right. Could you make a motion, Chair Cash, to confirm all these appointees?
I move we confirm the appointees.
Okay, properly second. Does anyone wish to remove an item from this consolidated motion for purposes of an individual abstention or no vote? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the remaining confirmations, please say aye. Okay. Council has confirmed these appointees. And so to those confirmed appointees, if you chose to return to the council chamber this evening, which I see quite a few of you did, welcome. That is not required, but do please stand as I call your names. So council has confirmed the appointments of John Michael to the Action Commission. To the Midtown Central Business Improvement District Board of Directors, council has confirmed Michael Babb, Walt Burton, Lisa Haller, Andre LaQuire, Julia Baker, Bob Franklin, Allie Hall Eagles, Emily Schneller, Donovan Sheffield, Charlie Couture, Chris Gala, Malik Gay, Keith Siebenaller, and then to the Parks and Recreation Board, the council has confirmed the reappointment of Dr. Michelle Steele. To the Short-Term Rentals Board, council has confirmed the appointment of the Honorable David Kleinfelter. And to the Sustainability Advisory Committee, council has confirmed the reappointment of Cesar Castro and the appointment of Laura Donahue. Congratulations to you all. Whether here in person or watching from home, we appreciate your willingness to serve our city. All right, council, we're going to keep on rolling. You can continue to thank those individuals, but I would ask if you do have a nomination, we are in section H of our agenda, nominations to the Transportation and Licensing Commission. If you're going to thank these folks, please thank them quietly so we can proceed with our agenda. This is item H1, nominations to fill 2 vacancies on the commission with terms expiring April 30th, with an election to be conducted at the June 2nd council meeting. Council members will have received a memo from me on April the 20th announcing these 2 vacancies, and this was also announced from the dais at last meeting. So I will now open nominations. First in the queue is Council Member Spain. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. On behalf of Councilmember Preptite and myself, I'd like to nominate Erica Penley.
Okay, Councilmember Spain and Preptite have nominated Erica Penley. Erica Penley. Thank you. All right. Councilmember Toombs, Madam Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I'd like to nominate Jalila Haig.
Okay, Councilmember Toombs has nominated Jalila Haig. All right, and Councilmember Coupin, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Annie Claver, please.
Okay, Councilmember Coupin has nominated Annie Claver. All right. Seeing no one else seeking to be recognized, the nominations are closed. Please be on the lookout for communication from the clerk's office to provide the contact information for your nominees. All right. Next, we are on to public comment. Section I of our agenda. Members of the public who are Tennessee residents wishing to speak at public comment may sign up at a table outside the council chamber from 5 to 6 p.m. on the day of a council meeting. Public comment is limited to 20 minutes total at council meetings, and each speaker is allowed up to 2 minutes to speak. Persons speaking on agenda items must be prioritized to comply with state law. All right, for public comment, we have two folks this evening. The first is Barbara Ann Jones, speaking regarding the Barnes Fund in support. After Barbara Ann Jones will be Davy Tucker. Go ahead and come forward. Ms. Jones, you are recognized.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, you know my name.
Ms. Jones, might you pull that microphone down a little bit closer to, there you go.
Is
Thank
it
you,
working
ma'am.
now? Is
Yes,
that better?
ma'am. We can hear you a little better. Thank
Fine,
you.
Thank you. Again, you know my name. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Barnes Housing Trust Fund. In 2013, the Barnes Housing Trust Fund was created and named after Reverend Bill Barnes. The intent of the fund was to provide competitive grants to nonprofit organizations to create and preserve affordable housing. The Department of Housing, Urban Development, HUD, defines affordable as a household paying no more than 30% of their gross income for housing costs. That's whether it's rental or home ownership, plus utilities. Typically, the fund focuses on serving residents at or below low to moderate incomes. The area median income, AMI, of 60% for rentals and 80% for home ownership. The fund aids tremendously in addressing Nashville's affordable housing. There is a shortage, and it definitely has to do with rentals and home ownership. The Barnes Fund is also able to help nonprofit developers navigate the various entities within Metro government, such as building codes or plumbing and electricity, zoning, and Metro Water. Nashville, our IT city, is in a housing crisis, the worst affordable housing crisis ever. The need is urgent. Last year, 16 grants were awarded to builders, totaling 870 homes. The total for that was $35,606,000. 10 of those were
Thank you,
rentals.
ma'am. Your time
My
has
time is
expired.
up.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
Next is Davy Tucker. Go ahead.
Thank you. Last week was probably unsettling for most of us in this room when the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. And all the states that moved rather quickly, Tennessee included, to restrict representation. I want to be clear that you became more important today because this is the last representative body for the 800,000 Tennesseans, the 800,000 Nashvillians. You're the last representative body. As we look at these 5 different districts, those people share no commonality with us. It's not that they're bad, but they don't share our shared vision. They don't see home in the same place. They're not close to the issues that you all are dealing with. You became more important. You are still representative of the people who sent you here. Nowhere else in our state or even in the federal government for us do we have that anymore. That ought to be untenable. That ought to be something that makes us mad. This is not just a black issue. Yes, we fought early on because we were brought over here against our will, but now many others have come. So it's not a black issue, it's a brown issue, but it's also a class issue. I've heard you talk about not poking the bear. It didn't do anything. Here we are. You all are the last brink while we wait for the Supreme Court to rule on what this is going to be. I bid you all Godspeed in your work.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. All right, that concludes our public comment. Only 2 folks haven't signed up. Next is Section J, a rule of procedure. We take these up as we do legislation. Agenda item J1 is an amendment to the rules of procedure, Rule 46 regarding scheduling meetings. The sponsor is Councilmember Prep T. You are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports.
Chair Cash, for your report, please, sir.
We voted to defer 1 meeting, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voted.
Okay, so that is a deferral by rule, 8.1. That will be deferred to our next meeting, the second meeting in May.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Next, we move into Section K of our agenda, bills on public hearing. Spanish interpretation services are provided for all Metro Council public hearings. Council Office team member Karina Valdez is here as the interpreter. Ms. Valdez, will you please share how you can help?
Los servicios de interpretación en español estarán disponibles en la audiencia pública. Gracias.
Gracias, we appreciate you. All right, for those wishing to speak this evening as part of public hearings, please do state your name, but it is not required for you to provide your exact address if you do not wish to do so. You may want to tell us in what neighborhood or area you live, your connection to an agenda item or project, or who your council member is. All right. So the first items on public hearing are companions to each other. Agenda items 1 and 2, sponsor member, or scheduled rather for a public hearing, sponsor Prep T. That is Ordinance BL 2025-1175 and its companion 1176. 1175 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by applying a neighborhood conservation zoning overlay to various properties located north of Shackelford Road, west of Belmont Boulevard, east of Oriole Place, and south of Glen Echo Road, zoned RS10 and R10. This is 38 acres. And again, 1176 is the companion, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. Councilmember Prep T, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Move to open the public hearing.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Prep T's bills 1175 and 1176. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Okay, I think Mr. Prep T is conferring with staff.
Brief indulgence.
Go ahead, sir. Mic's back on. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. At this moment, I'm going to withdraw this piece of legislation.
Okay, I appreciate that. I had a note here, and I thought maybe some things had changed. But just for the record, as I know there may be members of the community interested in that, you are then withdrawing Ordinance 2025-1175 and its companion 1176 regarding the conservation zoning overlay. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, those items have been withdrawn. All right, next is agenda item 3, Ordinance BL 2026-1296, sponsor Cortez. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 17.40 of the Metro Code to require district council member notice of unenforceable conditions associated with approved specific plan SP zoning districts and their associated development plans. Councilmember Cortez, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move to open the public hearing.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Cortez's Ordinance 1296. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right. Seeing no one here on either side, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on your bill.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move to approve with a brief comment.
All right. Is there a second? Go ahead, sir.
Just to give a little context for the legislation, at one point in my term, a legal decision was handed down for a project that passed before I was in office. And I was not made aware of that decision until about a year and a half after that legal decision was made. It caused some consternation within the community. So I worked with the planning department on this language just to make sure that regardless if it's legislation you passed or a previous council member had passed, if it is your district, you will receive notification when a piece of an SP is deemed unenforceable.
All right, I appreciate the explanation. Let's see, there is a motion to approve and it was properly seconded, so we are on to discussion. Are any members seeking to be recognized for discussion of this item on its second of 3 readings? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 4, Ordinance BL 2026-1317. Sponsors Horton, Spain, Coopin, Welsh, Huffman, Cap, Gadd, Allen, Evans, Siegel, Suara, Evans, Parker, Ewing, Toombs, Vo, Benedict, Gregg, Wiener, Cortez, Bradford, Ellis, Prepti, Sepulveda, and Harrell. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 17.04, .08, .16, and .20 of the Metro Code of Laws to modify regulations pertaining to daycare uses. I know that Councilmember Horton is not with us this evening. Mr. Spain, co-sponsor, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Horton and Spain's and many other members, Ordinance 1317 regarding daycare uses. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Okay. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right, seeing no one here on either side, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on the bill, Mr. Spain.
Move approval with brief comment.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I'd actually like to move the substitute by Councilmember Horton.
Okay, that's a proper motion. So there's a motion to substitute with a substitute from the Planning Department. I think it applies the Planning Commission recommendations from my notes there. And that motion to substitute is properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion to substitute? Seeing none, all in favor of the substitute, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, and if you renew your motion to approve is substituted.
So moved.
All right. Thank you. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings as substituted. All right, next is agenda item 5. This is ordinance BL 2026-1318, sponsors Parker and Horton. This is an ordinance amending chapter 17.16 of the Metro Code of Laws to amend the regulations on home occupations. Councilmember Parker, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to open the public hearing.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Parker and Horton's Ordinance 1318 regarding home occupations. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? Seeing no one here on either side, Councilmember Parker, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion to get this bill before us.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move the substitute with a brief explanation.
Okay, if you could please move approval first, sir.
Move the substitute.
Okay. Move approval of the bill first, please, sir.
My apologies.
That's
I'd like to move approval of the bill.
Perfect. And then I heard you also make a motion to substitute, which was subsequently seconded as well. So now we're on the motion to substitute. Would you like to have the floor for that?
Thank you. Yes, just a brief explanation. This was a substitute that came over to us from the Planning Commission. It fixes, improves some language around allowed uses, still prohibiting motor vehicle repair, but allowing things like exercise equipment, bicycles, et cetera, to be assembled or repaired on the premises of a home occupation site. So that's what it does.
All right. There is a motion to substitute. It's properly seconded, and you have heard a description of that substitute by the sponsor. And we're on to discussion. With no one seeking to be recognized, all improve. Oh, on the motion, on the substitute, sir? Okay, Councilmember Benton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just had a clarifying question for maybe legal. I want to understand the consistency. So for home occupation permits under this 2026-13-18, short-term rental permits and even permits where someone has to attest that they have permission from, say, a property owner, Metro is going to rely on the applicant's sworn statement. And the statement, if the statement is false, Metro just simply revokes the permit and issues a stop work order?
Would you like me to address that question to Special Counsel Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Wilson, you're recognized, sir.
Councilmember, this bill doesn't have a connection to short-term rentals. As I can tell, home occupations are for home businesses.
Right. I'm talking, these are areas where we might ask for an affidavit or attestation. If I noticed, I think it's 6B maybe, there would be an affidavit.
Within the substitute, sir, 6B?
Right.
Okay.
If you can give me one moment,
Sure.
I will pull 6B up.
And I'm not sure if anybody from the planning table, given that the substitute was offered, or sponsor, would you like to respond?
That is not affected by the substitute.
Okay.
That aspect, I believe, is in the code today of requiring permission of the property owner for a tenant to get a home occupation permit.
Okay.
It might have been changed slightly in the new language, but that's in the code today.
Okay, Mr. Benton, so we are on a motion to substitute. You heard the sponsor share that affidavit piece that you may be seeing in the bill is already in the code today. I don't know if planning can speak to if there's a slight modification on that in the substitute. Mr. Lehman, for the planning department, go ahead.
There's no change in the substitute and I believe Councilman Parker is correct that that's in the current code.
Okay.
So to continue on that thought process. So basically what happens, we're relying not on actually upholding anybody's contract
Mr.
law.
Benton, if
Yes.
we could, let's dispose of the substitute. We're on a motion to substitute.
That's what I'm on, because it's language in the substitute. I just want to understand the consistency.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
When someone attests a certain way, Metro is not going to go and enforce contract law. The attestation is strictly it's based in a truthful statement versus not truthful statement. And if they give us a false statement in this affidavit, then what is the remedy?
All right, what is the remedy for a false statement in the attestation that is in the bill? It appears the sponsor wants to address that. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So I sat for several years on the Short-Term Rental Appeals Board. If you get a permit from Metro under false pretenses, I mean, we have the right to revoke that permit. I don't think this would be any different than an STR permit. If Metro becomes aware that that was falsely attested to, then I think we would revoke the permit, yes.
All right. Special counsel is also nodding his head yes. Do you want to opine on that, Mr. Wilson?
I have nothing further to add, add there. It would go through the typical enforcement process that would exist for violations of this code.
Okay. Does that clarify everything, Mr. Benton?
I think so. So it's based on them making a truthful statement. That's it. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. We are on a motion to substitute. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the substitute, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? All right, and if you would please renew your motion to approve as substituted.
I'll renew my motion to approve as substituted.
And Ms. Benedict has already pre-seconded that. Is there any discussion on that motion? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Two questions. This first one may have already been answered. One of the things that we're doing is to align with state law, and so we're getting rid of the 20% of the home square footage definition to ensure that it's subordinate and going, I think, apparently with what's consistent with state law, saying that it has to be incidental and subordinate. And my question is, how in the world is that enforced? I mean, you can walk in and measure square footage. It's kind of hard to walk in and measure incidentalness. Is there?
And what was the other word, incidental and?
Subordinate.
Subordinate. Do you want to address that question to special counsel or to the planning table?
I'll take either one. I see Matt raising his hand.
Okay, we'll go to the planning table. Mr. Lehman, you're recognized.
I mean, I think ultimately, if there's someone that files a complaint, the zoning administrator would have to make the determination as to whether it's in compliance or not. And they would do a site inspection and look at the property to make that determination.
Right, go ahead, Ms. Allen.
Thank you. I had one other question. Also, as I understand it, this removes a prohibition on outdoor repair of equipment, which can be a good thing, but I just wondered, I mean, some people, you know, have concerns about cars up on blocks in front of the houses or whatever. Is there any accompanying requirement for screening or anything that would alleviate that concern?
Sponsor, do you want to address the question about screening?
So I believe that the substitute that planning sent us does not allow for the repair of equipment outdoors, whether powered or unpowered. That was a clarification that the commission sought and I believe is in the substitute.
Okay, all right. Does that answer your question, Ms. Allen? All righty. Are there any further questions on the motion to approve as substituted 1318 on second of three readings? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this has passed its second reading as substituted. All right, next is agenda item 6, ordinance BL 2026-1326, sponsor Coupon. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, to clarify the entitlements of properties which are adjacent or within rail corridors within 17.37 of the downtown code, all of which is described therein. Okay, Councilmember Coupon. Oh, okay. Ms. Evans, you are recognized.
Thank you. I am a substitute Councilmember Coupon for this legislation, and I'd like to move the bill, please.
All right. There is a motion to approve. Well, let's see. We're on public hearing.
I'd like to open the public hearing.
Okay. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Coupon and Evans's Ordinance 1326. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right. Seeing that there are folks here in opposition, if there are any persons here in support that wish to speak, supporting speakers will go first. So I do want to give another opportunity. Anyone here in support wishing to speak? All right, seeing none, those persons in opposition are welcome to come forward and speak if you would like. Go ahead, sir, you're recognized.
I request that BL 2026-1326 be removed from the consent agenda for discussion. I represent the board at Riverfront Condominiums.
All righty, this is not on the consent agenda, sir. It is on public hearing.
It wasn't on the consent agenda?
No, sir. It's on public hearing. We're having that public hearing now. If you would like to speak about this bill, you're welcome to do so. So we're in the midst of our public hearing portion. This is an ordinance that has 3 readings, and it's presently on its 2nd reading. Its 2nd reading is a public hearing, and that's what's transpiring now. So you're welcome to speak on the bill. It is not on consent.
Okay, we as a board did.
Would you please raise the
Yes, ma'am.
microphone? Yes, sir, go ahead.
At Riverfront Condominiums, as a board, we just recently did a new survey. And the survey showed that we had more property than we had before, and some of it's overlapping railroad property and adjacent to other property that's been developed. And we want to make sure that our easements and our, and all that is the new survey is put on public record, so it's considered that it's known that this is our property.
Okay.
And right now it's not. It was somehow it was incorrectly put in, and when we hired the surveyor, they came back with the survey, and we've got it posted out there. We've got the sticks, the stakes, and everything, and some of the railroad property is on our property, and then adjacent to our property, another development has developed, and it's on our property also. And we just want to be recognized that that is our property.
All righty, I appreciate that. That is on the record now. I would also encourage you to reach out to your council member, Councilmember Coupin. This legislation is being advanced this evening by Ms. Evans, so I'm sure she can be in touch with you. Anything else you wish to share, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized to speak in opposition? Okay, go ahead, sir. Oh, okay. All right, so I declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you, Ms. Evans, for a motion on this bill.
Thank you. I'd like to move approval, please.
Okay, there is a motion to approve. It's properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on this bill that's on its 2nd of 3 readings? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Ms. Porterfield is asking to be recognized as an abstention. Mr. Clerk, please. Okay. All right. This has passed its 2nd of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 7 and 8. They are companions to each other. Also, Councilmember Evans. Agenda item 7 is ordinance BL 2026-1337. And agenda item 8 is BL 2026-1338. 1337 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by amending a portion of a planned unit development overlay district on properties located at Old Lebanon Dirt Road, unnumbered, and 1704 Robards Way at the terminus of Dutch Falls Cove. This is 11.23 acres. It is zoned RM9 and located within a planned unit overlay district to permit 77 multifamily residential units. And again, it's companion 1338, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings, as mentioned in 1337. All right, Councilmember Evans, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing, please.
Okay. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Evans's ordinances 1337 and 1338. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Okay. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? Okay. Will those persons wishing to speak in support, seeing that there is opposition, please come forward to the podium. Supporting speakers will go first. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Good evening. John Claxton, Thomas & Hutton Engineering, representing the developer on this project. We've worked with Councilmember Evans on this project. We met with multiple neighbors after the Planning Commission meeting and helped alleviate the concerns we had heard. On this PUD amendment, we are keeping 43% of the site undisturbed, and we're no longer crossing the stream adjacent to the site as part of this PUD amendment. So we feel it's a better situation to maintain that stream and existing tree line and everything else. So appreciate the time. We hope you'll support this bill. Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else seeking to be recognized to speak in support? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to opposition. I believe I saw a hand in the back. Is that you, sir and folks? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition is welcome to come forward to the public podium, please. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I guess hearing your first bit, I do want to understand how close to, we're not crossing the stream anymore, but what does that exactly mean? Look through the sketches. It seems like it's still going right up to it, if not kind of taking it over. I'm looking for some clarification on where that's going to stop in relation to that creek area.
Welcome you to converse afterward. If you want to express your concerns to this body, go ahead and do that. But I can't have y'all kind of addressing each other back and forth.
That's totally fine. It wouldn't. Yeah. Totally fine. Understandable. I think a lot of us that live in that neighborhood are in opposition to the building entirely. I know that the bill is about making those changes. If the creek is being left alone, I think that makes it a lot more bearable for a lot of us. You can throw a rock from the space that they're proposing, and there's 6 or 7 houses with kids, and that's their one slice of nature that they can walk to. And Tennessee's, I think the appeal of Tennessee is its beauty in its natural state, and we keep losing that at kind of an alarming rate. And that's where our kids are going to grow up, and I don't want to lose what little slice of that we have, especially for just more housing that already drive through our neighborhood, drive through the adjacent neighborhoods and condo complexes, and there's rent and sale signs everywhere because we already can't fill the houses that we have because everyone's priced out of living comfortably. So, I'd like to, I don't know if I'm trying to oppose the building of the entire of the project by standing up here, or if I'm just opposing a certain bill. But I just wanted to say that. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else here seeking to be recognized to speak in opposition? Go ahead. Come on down. You're recognized.
Thank you. This is my first time.
Welcome.
Thank you. My concern is that it is a beautiful area back in there. I live in the neighborhood, and I'm between Old Lebanon Dirt Road and Central Pike. And we have so much building all past that way to where you have 2-lane roads, and we're already so congested. And I also have concern for our wildlife that, makes that place a home. And if they can keep some of that, that would be great, and maybe limit it to how much property they're going to take and increase the population that we're already overly populated. So that's my concern.
All right. Thank you for sharing that with us. Anyone else seeking to be recognized in opposition? Okay. Go ahead.
Hi there. Also, first time doing this, so this is exciting. But kind of echoing the same type of concerns, just being in the neighborhood and seeing how much of the just surrounding areas around our neighborhood and some of the adjacent neighborhoods that are already being, all the trees, everything being torn down, all the wildlife going, and just more and more apartments and townhomes. And I understand that people need a place to live, but we also don't have a lot of, infrastructure to handle a lot more people coming into such a small area. The traffic is getting bad, just trying to get kiddos to school. Also, what he was saying, the first gentleman, about how, I live in the neighborhood as well, grew up right there, played in that creek, and just don't want to see that in some of those areas that are wooded completely gone, because it's a very important part to the community and to the environment and just to the kiddos that are growing up in that area. My son is just right down the road, both my sons, and I hope they get to bike and play and do all of those things just like I got to do in this neighborhood. And also just want to make sure that I can still get to them to school on time with everything going on in the area with the new apartments and the new In-N-Out and the new Wawa and all the other fun things that are happening in Hermitage. But yeah, so those are just my concerns, and agreed. I think if we can kind of minimize how much of the land is disturbed and built upon to where we can still continue to have some of that green space for those people that are be coming into that around us, and as well as us that are already there, would be wonderful. Sorry, I'm a little jabbery. Like I said, I've never done this
Not
before.
at all. You still have 17 seconds, so
Well,
you're...
you know what? So how about that weather we're having, y'all? It is just nutty. No. Thank you so much.
for
I
coming
appreciate
out
it.
this
Have a good
evening.
one.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no one else seeking to be recognized, I will declare the public hearing closed. And it's back to you, Ms. Evans, for a motion on this bill.
Thank you. I'd like to move approval with a comment and my appreciation to the folks that came out, especially since it's your first time, and it could be a little nerve-wracking finding your way here and then speaking to all of us and being on YouTube and all that good stuff. So I appreciate that. I would like to, after we finish this part, to go out in the hallway with the team, and then we can talk a little bit further, and I really do appreciate you coming. And so ultimately, this is some land, I will call it, it's been challenging land to navigate in my district since when we originally started last term. And so I do feel like this is a good use of this land because of the access to, grocery store and a lot of things kind of right in that area. And it's taken a long time to get to this point for us to have this public conversation. So I do appreciate the feedback. We'll work with the team outside, answer any additional questions, and I hope my colleagues will be in support. Thank you.
All right. There is a motion to approve 1337 and its companion 1338 on their second of 3 readings. Is there any discussion on this motion to approve? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Abstain. Mr. Clerk, if you would please record Ms. Evans Siegel as an abstention on 1337 and 1338. Okay, these have passed their second of 3 readings. All right, next are agenda items 9 and 10. Again, they are companions to each other. Agenda item, sponsor Parker. Agenda item 9 is ordinance BL 2026-1339. And agenda item 10 is the companion ordinance BL 2026-1340. 1339 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by amending a specific plan for properties located at 915 and 927 Skyline Ridge Drive, approximately 911 feet west of Skyline Memorial Court. This is 21.95 acres to permit 280 multifamily residential units zoned SP. And again, 1340 requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses in 1339. Councilmember Parker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
Okay. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Parker's companion ordinances 1339 and 1340. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Okay. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hands? Seeing no one here in opposition to the persons here in support seek to be recognized to speak? They are shaking their head no, Mr. Parker, so I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on these bills.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval.
Okay, it's properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, these have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 11, ordinance BL 2026-1341, sponsor Kimbrough. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS10 to R10 zoning for property located at 1703 River Drive, located approximately 275 feet east of Hydes Ferry Road. This is 0.6 acres. Ms. Kimbrough, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Ms. Kimbrough's Bill 1341. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right, seeing no one here in opposition, do the persons here in support seek to be recognized and speak? They are shaking their head no, Ms. Kimbrough. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on your bill.
Thanks. I'd like to move for approval.
Okay, there's a motion to approve, properly seconded, of Ms. Kimbrough's ordinance 1341 on second reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 12 and 13. They are companions to each other. Sponsor Evans. The first is ordinance BL 2026-1342. The second is 1343. 1342 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS 80 to RS 15 and RS 15 to SP zoning for properties located at 3033, 3221, 3255 Melvin Road, and 6227, 6237, and 6317 North New Hope Road, Melvin Road unnumbered, and North New Hope Road unnumbered, located east of North New Hope Road, north of Central Pike, and south of Landings Way. This is 50 acres to permit 164 single-family residential lots. And again, 1343, the companion requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at all those addresses mentioned in 1342. Council Member Evans, Mr. Huffman. Okay, Mr. Huffman's going to take it. Go ahead, sir. You're recognized.
I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Council Member Evans's bills 1342 and 1343. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hands? Thank you all. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hands? Seeing no one here in opposition, do the persons here in support seek to be recognized to speak? They are shaking their head no, just in abundance of caution. Nobody wants to speak. All right. With that, then, I will declare the public hearing closed. Mr. Huffman, are you signing on to this, sir, for purposes of making the motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Huffman, it's back to you for a motion.
Move for approval.
All right. There's a motion to approve, properly seconded for 1342 and 1343 on their second of 3 readings. Is there any discussion? All right. Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. These have passed their second of 3 readings. Next is agenda item 14, ordinance BL 2026-1344, sponsor Parker. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS5 to MUNANS zoning for properties located at 1304 and 1306 Jones Avenue, located approximately 191 feet north of Douglas Avenue. This is 0.21 acres. Councilmember Parker, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing, please.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Councilmember Parker's ordinance 1344. Would all members of the public here in support of this ordinance please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this ordinance please raise your hands? Seeing no one here in opposition, does the person here in support seek to be recognized to speak? He is shaking his head no, Mr. Parker. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on your bill.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move for approval.
All right, it's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next are agenda items 15 and 16. They are companions to each other, sponsor Kimbrough. The first is ordinance BL 2026-1345, and the second is ordinance BL 2026-1346. 1345 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS 15 to SP zoning for property located at 3854 Abernathy Road, approximately 549 feet west of Clarksville Pike. This is 8.48 acres to permit 63 detached multifamily residential units with 9 accessory apartments. And then again, 1346, the companion, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the addresses mentioned in Bill 1345. Ms. Kimbrough, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The developer, Mr. Kantz, has asked me to defer this indefinitely, these two.
Okay. There
I'd like
is.
to defer them indefinitely.
Okay, there's a motion to defer indefinitely. We second that. Is there any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor of an indefinite deferral, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, these two bills, 1345 and 1346, sponsored Kimbrough, have been deferred indefinitely. All right, next are agenda items 17 and 18. They are companions to each other, sponsor Vo. Agenda item 17 is ordinance BL 2026-1347, and agenda item 18 is ordinance BL 2026-48. 1347 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government by amending a specific plan for properties located at 900, 904, 910, 912, 914, and 916 8th Avenue South, and 901, 909, 911, 913, 915, 917, 919, 921, 923, and 925 Bass Street, approximately 240 feet south of Interstate 40 East, zoned SP. This is 3.05 acres to permit 365 multifamily residential units. And again, 1348 requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at all those addresses in 1347. Ms. Vo, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Ms. Vo's bills 1347 and 1348. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hand? Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hand? All right, seeing no one here in opposition to the persons in support seek to speak and be recognized, they are shaking their head no. And so with that, Ms. Vo, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on these bills.
Thank you. I move to approve.
Okay. Properly moved and seconded. There's a motion to approve on second reading, companions 1347 and 1348. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, those have passed their second of three readings. Next are three bills that are companions to each other. Agenda items 19, 20, and 21, all sponsors Huffman. Agenda item 19 is ordinance BL 2026-1349. It's 1350 and 1351. 1349 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the ordinance of the Metro government, by canceling a portion of a planned unit development overlay district located at 5309 Weber Road, approximately 85 feet west of Andrew Jackson Parkway. This is 2.02 acres, and it is zoned R10. Now, agenda item 20, ordinance 1350 is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from R10 to SP zoning for property located at also 5309 Weber Road, approximately 85 feet west of Andrew Jackson Parkway. This is also 2.02 acres. This permits 18 multifamily residential units. And then lastly, the companion 1351, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings at the aforementioned addresses in 1350. All right, Mr. Huffman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Council Member Huffman's companion bills 1349, 1350, and 1351 regarding Weber Road. Would all members of the public here in support of these bills please raise your hands? All right. Would all members of the public here in opposition to these bills please raise your hands? All right. Seeing that there is someone here in opposition, do the persons here or a person here in support seek to be recognized to speak? Go ahead. If you do, come on down forward, please. And then likewise, if you do wish to speak, whether in support or opposition, I would encourage you to come on down front for expediency. Go ahead, sir, you're recognized.
Yes, my name is Brent Smith. I'm a resident here of Nashville, Tennessee, and the developer of this project. And we've worked with the council members, and we've had several neighborhood meetings, and we've addressed all of their issues. We've worked with planning staff and addressed any issues they've had. And we've designed this project to fit into the community. We instead of just lining up townhouses like most developers do, we've done this in a very community type arrangement where we've broken things down into smaller buildings, small groups of buildings. We've met, we've met all the requirements of planning and zoning and answered any questions that the community have. We're really actually surprised there's opposition here. So we'll be happy to hear any comments they have and address them as we can.
All righty. Does anyone else here in support seek to be recognized or speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to opposition. Would you like to speak in opposition? You're welcome to come forward. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Hi, I've grown up here and I've grown up on Weber Road since the late 60s. So that property I'm very much aware of. So I'm glad it's not as many houses developed there. But I do have concerns because there is a school right there. You know, I don't know what their plans are as far as building a red light. And just because the amount of traffic that is already on the road that we live on, there's many seniors, there's children. And they already are treating it like NASCAR for this very small, short little road. So I just want to make sure that it's safe for the people that live there. I personally take my life in my own hands just to go to the mailbox to get the mail. So
thank you for sharing that. All right. Is anyone else seeking to be recognized to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you, Mr. Huffman, for you can make a consolidated motion on all these bills if you wish.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move for approval on all three of these with a brief comment.
All right, properly seconded. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Colleagues, I'll keep this very brief. This particular project has been at the center of, I think, 2 community meetings at this point. Essentially, the neighbors of Weber Road have been really, really great to work with. Really appreciate you too, ma'am, coming out. And what the lady says is very true. I mean, Weber Road is one of those roads that is still very much a country road. We still have those in Davidson County. The property in question is located at the end of Weber Road at the corner of Andrew Jackson Parkway, for those that are familiar with the Hermitage area. And on the site currently is an abandoned house that has been the subject of ongoing vandalism, trespassing issues, and so on. So we're getting rid of a nuisance here. We're adding some housing that is badly needed in our area, not only our area, but all of Nashville. And we're doing it in a way with the developer that it's going to be affordable for folks. Now, it's not going to be built cheap. Mr. Smith is known for his quality, so I'm excited about that. He also has made some concessions in this in regards to the way that they are facing the road, ensuring that the setbacks have some proper tree coverage. I think this is a project that the residents of Weber Road are going to be proud of, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
All right, there is a motion to approve agenda items 19, 20, 21, all related to each other, companions in a consolidated motion. It's properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, these have passed their second of 3 readings. All right, next on public hearing is agenda item 22, ordinance BL 2026-1352, sponsor Toombs. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from CL to RS 7.5 to, or from that, both to MULANS zoning for properties located at 2400, 2402, and 2404 Brick Church Pike at the northwest corner between Avondale Circle and Brick Church Pike. This is 0.95 acres. Ms. Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Request to open a public hearing.
All right, I declare the public hearing open for Ms. Toombs' ordinance 1352 regarding Church Pike. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill, please raise your hand. Thank you. Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill, please raise your hand. Seeing no one here in opposition, does the person here in support seek to be recognized or speak? He is shaking his head no. And so with that, I will declare the public hearing closed. And it's back to you, Ms. Toombs, for a motion on your bill.
Move for approval.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Agenda item 23, ordinance BL 2026-1353, sponsors Welsh and Horton. Neither of whom are here at present, but I do see Vice Chair Harrell for Planning and Zoning. This 1353 is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 2318 Foster Avenue. This is located approximately 134 feet north of Peachtree Street. This is 0.17 acres. Vice Chair Harrell, you are recognized.
Madam Vice Mayor, I'll be signing on to move forward on behalf of Horton and Welsh.
Okay, great. Would you like to open the public hearing?
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, I will declare the public hearing open for Ms. Welsh, Horton, and Harrell's Bill 1353 regarding Foster Avenue. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Okay, would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? Seeing no one here on either side, Vice Chair Harrell, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on this bill.
I'd like to move forward with approval.
Okay, there's a motion to approve, and it's properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this has passed its second of 3 readings. All right, our last bill on public hearing is agenda item 24, ordinance BL 2026-1354, sponsor Coopin. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from IG to SP zoning for property located at 100 Taylor Street, approximately 194 feet east of 2nd Avenue North. This is 1.32 acres to permit a mixed-use development. Is there a co-sponsor for this? Ms. Evans, okay. You are recognized. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to open the public hearing, please.
All right. I declare the public hearing open for Council Member Coopin's Bill 1354 regarding Taylor Street. Would all members of the public here in support of this bill please raise your hand? Would all members of the public here in opposition to this bill please raise your hand? All right, seeing no one here on either side, Ms. Evans, I will declare the public hearing closed, and it's back to you for a motion on this bill.
Thank you. I'd like to move approval, please.
Okay, there is a motion to approve, and it's properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill on its second reading? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, that concludes the public hearing portion of our agenda. Next, we will roll right into Section L, which is our consolidated consent agenda. All resolutions and third reading ordinances on this agenda are included on the consent agenda if recommended for approval unanimously by all the committees to which the item was referred. Items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. The item number, along with the resolution and ordinance number of the items on the consent agenda, will be read by me, and members of the council may remove any item from the consent agenda by request before the consent agenda vote is taken. All right, I will now begin to read the items proposed for consent. First among those in resolutions is agenda item 26, resolution 2026-1927. Agenda item 27, resolution 2026-1928. Agenda item 28, resolution 2026-1929. Agenda item 29, Resolution 2026-1930. Agenda item 31, Resolution 2026-1932. Agenda item 32, Resolution 2026-1933. Agenda item 33, Resolution 2026-1934. Agenda item 34, Resolution 2026-1935. Agenda item 35, Resolution 2026-1936. Agenda item 36, Resolution 2026-1937. Agenda item 37, Resolution 2026-1938. Agenda item 38, Resolution 2026-1939. Agenda item 39, Resolution 2026-1940. Agenda item 40, Resolution 2026-1941. Agenda item 41, Resolution 2026-1942. Agenda item 42, Resolution 2026-1943. Agenda item 43, Resolution 2026-1944. Agenda item 44, Resolution 2026-1945. Agenda item 45, Resolution 2026-1946. Agenda item 46, Resolution 2026-1947. Agenda item 47, Resolution 2026-1948. Agenda item 48, Resolution 2026-1949. Agenda item 49, Resolution 2026-1950. Agenda item 50, Resolution 2026-1951. Agenda item 51, Resolution 2026-1952. Agenda item 52, Resolution 2026-1953. Agenda item 54, Resolution 2026-1955. Agenda item 55, Resolution 2026-1956. Agenda item 56, Resolution 2026-1957. Agenda item 57, Resolution 2026-1958. Resolution 58, or rather Agenda item 58, Resolution 2026-1959. Agenda item 59, Resolution 2026-1960. Right, now for items on second reading proposed for the consent agenda, first among those is Agenda item 70, Ordinance BL 2026-1356. Agenda item 71, Ordinance BL 2026-1357. Next is Agenda item 75, Ordinance BL 2025-1363. Agenda item 77, Ordinance BL 2026-1365. Agenda item 78, Ordinance BL 2026-1366. Agenda item 79, Ordinance BL 2026-1367. And then lastly, for items on third reading proposed for the consent agenda, first among those is Agenda item 81, Ordinance BL 2026-1327. Agenda item 82, Ordinance BL 2026-1328. Next is Agenda item 83, Ordinance BL 2026-1329. Agenda item 84, Ordinance BL 2026-1330. Agenda item 85, ordinance BL 2026-1331. Agenda item 86, ordinance BL 2026-1332. Agenda item 87, ordinance BL 2026-1333. Agenda item 88, ordinance BL 2026-1334. Agenda item 89, ordinance BL 2026-1335. And then lastly, agenda item 90, ordinance BL 2026-1336. Do any items need to be removed from the consent agenda? If so, if members would please join the queue to request that. First is Councilmember Vo. You're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Can we please remove agenda item number 55 and agenda item 57?
Okay, agenda item 55. Okay, is resolution 1956 will be removed from consent. And then I apologize, did you say 57, Ms. Vo?
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 57 is resolution 1958, and it will also be removed from consent.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next is Councilmember Gadd. You're recognized.
Thank you so much, Madam President. I'm asking to remove item number 58, RS 2026-1959.
All right, agenda item 58, resolution 1959 has been removed from consent. Ms. Evans Siegel, you are recognized.
I would like to remove item 70, BL 2026-1356.
Okay, agenda item 70, ordinance 1356 will be removed from consent. Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to remove item 88, BL 2026-1334.
Okay, agenda item 88, ordinance 1334 has been removed from consent. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I would like to remove number 82.
Okay, agenda item 82, which is ordinance 1328, has been removed from consent. And then Councilmember Porterfield, you are recognized, Madam Pro Tem.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to remove, I believe it's agenda item 26, 1927.
Okay, agenda item 26, resolution 1927 will be removed from consent.
Okay, and then number 71, 1357.
Okay, agenda item 71. Which is ordinance 1357, that will also be removed from consent.
Thank you. And then lastly, number 56, RS 2026-1957.
Okay, agenda item 56, ordinance 1957 will be and has been removed from consent. All right. Are any other members seeking to be recognized to remove items from consent? All right. Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, are all committee reports in for the items remaining on the consent agenda?
Yes, all committee reports are in.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Members, is there a motion for approval of the consent agenda? Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. All right, council has passed all items on the consent agenda. We will now go back through in agenda order for items that were not on consent. All right, and first among those, let's see. Number 25. Okay, I did not mark that correctly there. Okay. This is a resolution 2026-1926, sponsors Toombs and GAD. This is a resolution accepting the terms of a cooperative purchasing master agreement with the For the Record Limited for courtroom audio and visual equipment, service and storage for state trial courts. Councilmember Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report. Budget and Finance voted to recommend a one-meeting deferral, 8 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, so that is a mandatory deferral by Rule 8.1. That item or resolution will be deferred to the next meeting in May. Okay, next is agenda item 26, resolution 2026-1927, sponsors Cap and Ellis. This is a resolution authorizing the interim director and special counsel of the Metropolitan Council Office to make personnel decisions until a contracted successor is employed. Councilmember Cap, you're recognized, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports. This matter was considered by the Charter Revision Committee earlier today, which recommended 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, thank you.
I don't believe there's any other committees.
No, sir. Go ahead.
So I move approval.
All right. All right, it's properly moved and seconded. Go ahead. We're on to discussion. Anything you want to say at this time before we, as sponsor, before we recognize those in the queue?
Yes, thank you, Vice Mayor. This is a simple, straightforward resolution to clarify that our interim special counsel has the same powers as our contracted special counsel with respect to personnel decisions. That was something that was in the contract of our previous special counsel. And since we now have an interim and all the responsibilities have devolved upon that person without his asking for them, my view is that the competencies ought to land on that same person as well. And this simply clarifies that.
All righty.
And with that, I ask your support.
All right. Ms. Porterfield, you are next in the queue. Madam Pro Tem, go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just had a clarifying question. In the event that the interim special counsel chooses to apply for the position to be special counsel director, would they still then be a part of that hiring process?
No. Go ahead, Special Counsel Wilson.
Councilmember, the hiring process for a permanent special counsel for the office is governed by charter. In that case, the vice mayor, the council would authorize the vice mayor to hire a member. That process for hiring would not be, the interim director would not have a part in that process. It would be through the vice mayor and the executive committee.
Thank you, Ms. Porterfield. All right, is there any further discussion on Resolution 1927? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Any abstaining? All right, this resolution has passed. Next is agenda item 30. This is resolution 2026-1931, sponsors Toombs, Vo, and Stiles. This is a resolution to approve the criteria for operating support and Thrive grants for fiscal year 2027 for the Metropolitan Nashville Arts Commission. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval, 8 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, and for the report of the Arts, Parks, Libraries, and Entertainment Committee, Chair Vo.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The committee voted 6 in favor, 1 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, got it. All right, back to you, Ms. Toombs, for a motion to get this before us.
Move for approval.
All right, it's properly moved and seconded, and we're on to discussion. First in the queue is Councilmember Benedict. You're recognized.
Previous question.
Okay. The previous question has been called. It requires a second, which we have heard. This is a non-debatable motion. It requires 2/3 of those voting. If you are in favor of the previous question, that would end debate, and we would move straight to the vote. If you vote no, that means that you want to have a discussion on this matter. As always, we will try it first by voice. I would remind folks it is number, not volume. All in favor of the previous question, please say aye. All not in favor of the previous question, please say no. All right, I believe the ayes do have it. And so with that, we will move straight to the vote. Knowing that this is a resolution that only has one reading, and given that there are no votes, I am guessing in the room, given the committee report and the vote on the previous question. Mr. Clerk, could you please load the vote for Resolution 1931, please, sir? With all votes in, Mr. Clerk, if you would please show the vote. All right, this resolution has passed with 27 votes in favor, 5 against, and 0 abstentions. Okay, next. Is agenda item 53. This is resolution 2026-1954. Sponsor Stiles. This is a resolution expressing a lack of confidence in the performance and leadership of the Electric Power Board of the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County for its failures during Winter Storm Fern. Ms. Stiles, sponsor, you are recognized.
Thank you. Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Chair Evan Siegel.
Do you need, we had some interim reports on various motions that were made, or do you just need the final motion? Just the final one. Okay.
Final, please. Thank you.
We voted 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting to defer one meeting.
Okay, defer one meeting. Okay, for the report of the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee, Chair Cash. This is Ms. Stiles' Ordinance 1954 about the Power Board.
We move to defer one meeting.
All right. With that, Ms. Stiles, that's a mandatory deferral by Rule 8.1. All right. Next is agenda item 55, Resolution 2026-1956, sponsors Coupin, Cortez, Gad, Ellis, Gregg, Nash, Allen, Vo, Suarez, Stiles, Lee, Spain, Juffel, Toombs, and Cap. This is a resolution recognizing May 2026 as Jewish American Heritage Month in Nashville and Davidson County. Sponsor Coupin is not with us. Who is the member who removed it from consent? Mr. Cortez, did you remove this from Okay. Mr. Cortez, do you have any objection to me recognizing Ms. Vo, who is also a sponsor, her having removed it from consent? Okay, Ms. Vo, I will recognize you on this one. Go ahead.
Okay. I was removing it for Councilmember Coupin, but unfortunately he's not here. So to move to approval.
Okay. Okay. So there is a motion to approve. It is properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this resolution has passed. Agenda item 56, Resolution 2026-1957, sponsors Suara, Spain, and Ellis. This is a resolution recognizing May 2026 as ALS Awareness Month in Nashville and Davidson County. Ms. Suara, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
For the report of the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee, Chair Cash.
We approved 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, it's back to you, Ms. Suara, for a motion.
Thank you. I'd like to move for approval, and I would like to invoke
to apply Rule 12.3, such, okay, so there's a motion to approve with Rule 12.3 applied such that all those voting in the affirmative will be listed as co-sponsors. It's properly seconded. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm not going to say much. This was sent to me by somebody from Vanderbilt, but we all know about the Lou Gehrig disease and the people that it impacts. And so May is ALS month, and we want to recognize and just stand with the poor folks that are impacted by the disease. And with that, I ask for your vote. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Councilmember Porterfield, you are recognized.
Thank you so very much, Vice Mayor. I stand in support of this legislation, and I just wanted to take a moment to speak the name of Addie Barkin, who was a renowned progressive attorney and healthcare activist who died on November 1st, 2023 at the age of 39 due to complications from ALS. He was diagnosed in 2016, and he turned his terminal diagnosis into a fight for healthcare reform, founding the Be a Hero organization, which fights for healthcare justice for all by organizing people across the country who have been harmed by our broken healthcare system, and works to advance the ideas that healthcare is a human right that should be guaranteed to all. After his diagnosis, Adi became a leading voice for Medicare for All, arguing that healthcare is a human right. And in 2017, a video of him confronting then Senator Jeff Flake on a plane regarding healthcare cuts went viral. He was the subject of the 2021 documentary Not Going Quietly, which chronicled his activism despite his advancing paralysis. Addie continued to advocate for justice and healthcare access until his death, leaving behind his wife, Rachel, and his children, Carl and Willow. He was recognized for his intense dedication to social justice, often stating that fighting for a better world provided him with purpose despite his diagnosis. Addie was many things. He was a proud father, son, and husband. And to his family, he was everything. He was a fierce organizer who was remarkably brilliant, wickedly sharp, and wildly ambitious. He was a fighter who refused to back down when things got tough, especially after his ALS diagnosis, and he used every opportunity to speak truth to power. Adi was also the founding director of Local Progress, and while working at the Center for Popular Democracy, he helped envision, which is now a network of thousands of local elected officials across the country.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on this resolution 1957, recognizing May as ALS Awareness Month? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. You have passed that resolution with all those voting in the affirmative listed as co-sponsors. Next is Agenda Item 57, Resolution 2026-1958, sponsor Vo and Ellis. This is a resolution recognizing May 2026 as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in Nashville and Davidson County. Councilmember Vo, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move to approve with a brief comment.
All right. Is there a second? All right, go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Tonight, as Nashville recognizes Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we affirm that our 26,000 AA and HPI neighbors are not only part of Nashville's story, they are essential to its future. This resolution matters because history matters. On this day, 182 years ago, the first Japanese immigrants arrived in the U.S., and shortly after, on May 10th, 1869, the Transcontinental Railroad was completed and by the labor of so many Chinese immigrants. So in a time when communities across Tennessee are feeling the impact of division, exclusion, and policies that weaken trust and belonging, Nashville must continue choosing inclusion, dignity, and solidarity. This week, especially, many Tennesseans are hurting as our state has raised fears about whose voices, histories, and rights are valued. Celebrating AA and HPI Heritage Month is a reminder that our city is strongest when every community is seen, respected, and protected. Today, Nashville's AA and HPI residents are educators, healthcare workers, entrepreneurs, artists, public servants, and families who help shape the culture and economy of our city every day. Their stories deserve recognition not just in May, but year-round. As the daughter of Vietnamese refugees, I know how important it is for young people to see themselves reflected in leadership and public life. This resolution sends a message that they belong here and that Nashville stands against hate and division in all forms. May we continue building a city where every person, regardless of your race, heritage, language, or background, feels safe, welcomed, and valued. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vo. All right, are there any further discussion? Councilmember Prepty, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I rise in support of this resolution and thank the sponsor for bringing it, especially in a time where a number of communities are under attack in this state and across the country. We know that Black and Brown communities are under assault, and we know throughout the history of this nation, the AAPI community has also been under assault. And also want to recognize the fact that the AAPI community, especially in California, helped to pioneer a lot of the cases both in local district courts as well as at the federal Supreme Court that helped to pioneer a lot of the case law that we utilized throughout the civil rights movement. So I want to thank the sponsor for bringing this legislation, rise in support of it, and want to say to every member of every community across this state that we stand with you and that we will continue to fight to protect every single person in this state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prepty. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? All right, you have passed this resolution. All right, next is agenda item 58, resolution 2026-1959, sponsors Gadd and Ellis. This is a resolution recognizing May 11th through the 17th, 2026 as Period Poverty Awareness Week in Nashville and Davidson County. Ms. Gadd, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Also, I want to thank my colleagues for the last few years of support when we've taken the time to recognize the existence of period poverty and what that is. And what that refers to is a lack of access to period products and menstrual education. People who experience period poverty, they can't afford to buy period products. That is needed on a monthly basis, which results in them being unable to go to work, attend class, or participate in their day-to-day routine. That happens in our school system. 1 in 4 students experience this. It also happens to our Metro employees because, believe it or not, sometimes you just can't predict when you're going to menstruate. So for those of us who've had that experience, having access to basic hygiene products, just like we do toilet paper, just like we do hand soap in our restrooms, is absolutely vital. It is also something that's not abstract, it's not rare, it's not someone else's problem, and it's something we actually get to solve here. There's so many things that we try to tackle that is so expensive and it's so laborious, or the state restricts our access to, or our ability to do. This is actually something that is doable. In a $3.8 billion budget, the one we're going to consider, 0.0039% is all it takes. The $150,000 a couple of years ago we set aside. What we have learned over the last 2 years of education and outreach to other cities that are doing this, for that same amount, we can cover nearly 200 restrooms that Metro government owns and runs. So when we're thinking about our budget this year, $150,000, and I'm really thankful to the mayor's office who's been so receptive and so supportive, the Department of Health in the past, as well as we try to look for real efficient solutions. We're really fortunate also to have the CEO of Aunt Flo come and meet with many of us while we were here, while she was in town. And so, and she'll be back in town, I hope. But what we learned through that is that we have the new Titan Stadium that is jumped on board with providing period products in the restrooms. We actually have the soccer stadium, Jodas is doing it. The Preds, when we got to meet with them, immediately they understood the value, not only to their employees, but to their customers and their clients. So they are working to do that, and also in their youth hockey league places. One thing I'd like to also just bring attention to is that while we look to make this access available for all of us to participate in, I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you all for your attention and constant work on this. With that, I'd like to ask for Rule 12.3 on this resolution and appreciate everyone's support.
All right, Ms. Gadd has amended her motion to approve to apply 12.3 such that all members voting in the affirmative will be listed as fellow co-sponsors. That was properly seconded. All right, we are on to discussion. Councilmember Vo, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. I also stand and rise in support of RS 2026-1959. I literally was having a conversation with community members last week about period products. And I really do also want to recognize Lyona Local 386 because they had a recent project where they are also providing menstrual products. And I think that's so great that we shouldn't have to we should all be working together in all different areas, from schools to workplaces to our professional sports teams. And I just think it's really important that we should be able to not miss anything in a part of our Nashville life because we can't afford period products. So I just rise in support and thank the sponsor.
All right. Councilmember Prepty, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I also rise in support of this piece of legislation, as well as the efforts by the main sponsor for this. Not only is it providing, she talked about later budget allocations that we'll have the opportunity to vote on. So not only does this provide those vital resources to folks who need them, but it also removes the stigma around a basic bodily function that nobody can choose whether or not it's something that happens. And so I again, thank the sponsor for this and the important work that she's doing on this topic, and will support her in all of her efforts. So thank you, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Prepty. All right, is there any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? All right, you have passed this resolution. Thank you, Ms. Gadd. All right, that concludes our resolutions, and now we're on Section N, Bills on Introduction and First Reading. By rule, all items on first reading shall be voted on at the same time unless requested otherwise by a primary sponsor or by two other members. Do any items need to be removed from the collective vote on first reading? All right, Councilmember Cap, you're recognized.
Just requesting the removal of number 63 so that I can be marked as an abstention.
Okay, all right. That will be removed from the consolidated vote. Is there anyone else seeking to be recognized? All right. Is there a motion for approval of all the items remaining on? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Kimbrough. Something else on first that you need to remove? Yes, ma'am, we're on first reading. So that's all going to be just a consolidated vote by rule. Mr. Cap removed one item for purposes of an abstention. Do you have something on first? Okay. All righty. So there was a motion to approve all the remaining items on first consideration. I heard a proper second. So without objection, you have approved all items on first reading. And now we will go back to agenda item 63 on first reading. This is ordinance BL 2026-1371, sponsors Toombs and Huffman. This is an ordinance approving a memorandum of understanding between the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, MVPD, and Vanderbilt University, acting through its police department, a component of Vanderbilt University Public Safety, to establish a training partnership between the agencies. Let's see, Ms. Toombs, if you would please just make a motion to approve on first. We're just having one abstention. I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
Approval.
All righty. There is a motion to approve. Is there a second? All right, and it's properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this item on first reading? Okay, Ms. Porterfield, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Could we hear from, I guess, maybe the administration on a partnership? Like, what does this partnership entail? Or
okay, we can direct that to the administration. Sure.
I don't care who answers it. I'm just interested in knowing what the partnership entails.
Absolutely. We'll make sure you get that information. Mr. Rosenberg for the administration, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. Councilmember, this allows, this is for Vanderbilt to use existing MNPD training facilities, equipment, curriculum, and personnel to help their police department employees gain certification through the Tennessee Post Commission.
Ms. Porterfield, does that answer your question sufficiently? Okay. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Any abstentions? Okay, so there are 3 abstentions, Cap, Gadd, and Kimbrough. Mr. Clerk? All right. Okay, that has passed. It's first of 3 readings. Okay, that concludes our first reading items. So next, we're on to Agenda Section O, bills on second reading. First among those that was not on consent is Agenda Item 69. This is Ordinance BL 2026-1355. This is an ordinance amending Section 2.04.030 of the Metro Code of Laws relative to the Metropolitan Council Office, sponsor Ellis. Ms. Ellis, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to withdraw.
All right. This item will be withdrawn. Thank you. All right. Okay. Next is on second reading is Agenda Item 70. This is Ordinance BL 2026-1356, sponsors Toombs and Evan Siegel. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 2.24.225 of the Metro Code of Laws, modifying appraisal requirements for certain real estate acquisitions made by the Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, also known as NDOT, and for Choose How You Move projects. Sponsor Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report. Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
And for the report of the Transportation Infrastructure, Chair Evan Siegel.
The Transportation Infrastructure Committee recommended approval, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay. All right, it's back to you for a motion, please, ma'am.
Move for a 1 meeting deferral.
Okay. There's a motion for a 1 meeting deferral. Is there a second? Okay. Okay, so we are on to discussion on a deferral motion. First in the queue is Ms. Evan Siegel. Go ahead, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I would ask if my colleague would consider amending that to 1 meeting deferral with a re-referral to committee.
Ms. Toombs, would you like to amend that motion?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second for that motion to be amended with the re-referral? Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. This is being asked to be deferred because if anybody looked closely at it, you would have noticed that it's sort of an odd and small number, and we're going to work to make it more consistent with state and federal law and other caps within the code and bring an amendment back that cleans that up.
Okay, appreciate the explanation. Is there any further discussion on this motion to defer 1 meeting with a re-referral? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. That will be deferred 1 meeting. Next is Agenda Item 71, Ordinance BL 2026-1357, sponsors Toombs and Benedict. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 2.40 of the Metro Code of Laws relative to the Department of Law. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report. Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay. Yours is the only committee report. Do you want to make a motion?
Move for approval.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. We're on to discussion. Ms. Porterfield, Madam Pro Tem, you are recognized.
Thanks, Vice Mayor. I have all the questions tonight. I was just curious to know, what brought this legislation to be.
Okay, do you want to address that to Special Counsel Wilson?
Sure, or
Okay.
legal.
Special Counsel, do you want to take it, or would you like to refer it to the Department of Law?
I would need to refer this to the Department of Law to determine how this law came about.
Came about, okay. Ms. Amos for the Department of Law, you're recognized. I'm sorry, go ahead, ma'am.
Sure. So the question was about the changes to this section of the code and the necessity. So this legislation, as it is proposed, amends Metro's ability to settle claims. So our office has a claims division that functions a lot like an insurance company. And this change would allow us to settle claims less than $25,000 without consulting with the department head first. So like if we damaged a fence, it would allow us to repair the fence without then consulting with the department head before we pay. And you all would still receive quarterly reports. The department head would still receive quarterly reports for those settlements under $25,000. For the settlements above $25,000, we will still consult with the department heads before paying those claims. There's another change in the following subsection 110 that allows us to not consult with department heads before we are receiving money. So say someone runs into a school bus and our claims division is settling a dispute with their insurance company, we don't have to consult with the fire department or fleet before we get the money.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Porterfield, do you have any further questions? I can. There's a minute remaining in your time. I'm happy to do that. Next in the queue is Ms. Benedict. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. So, colleagues, this is a change. Ms. Bussell from the Department of Law and I were working on this. Earlier this term, we passed a law that said that any claims over, I believe, $25,000 have to go to the head of the department that's impacted, and that was to give better oversight to claims that are coming through. We want to make sure that the department's aware of the payouts that they're giving, because that was not a step in the process before. What came to light as the result of that is that these claims, we actually end up risking more money because we're not settling these claims fast enough. And this is strictly for the claims. So it's to the examples that Ms. Amos gave. This is not something that would, the things that were meant to bubble up to the department were not this. And so that's why this amendment to that bill that we passed earlier this year is in front of us. So I know that I'm not the sponsor, I'm a co-sponsor, and I would seek approval from the body.
Thank you, Ms. Benedict. Ms. Porterfield, can I go back to you now? There's no one else in the queue except Ms. Suarez in the queue now, but I'll go back to Ms. Porterfield first. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. That's what I understood it to be, but when I read it, and maybe I'm reading it wrong, it seems like it's saying that they are consulting with the department head for both under $25,000 and over $25,000, which is why I'm trying to get clarity, because it says that the Metropolitan Attorney is authorized to settle any property damage claim against the Metropolitan government for an amount not to exceed $25,000. No, that's not the part. Sorry, hold on. If I could just get clarity on that, because we're saying that it is that they're not going to have to consult with somebody if it is if it's under $25,000, which makes perfect sense to me, and I'm in full support of that. But it seems like the language is saying that they would have to consult with them regardless. It says the proposed ordinance would clarify the Metro Attorney or delegate shall consult with applicable department head or delegate for all litigation before final approval of a settlement if the settlement is $25,000 or less. So it seems like they are still saying that they're consulting with them.
Are you reading the analysis?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Wilson, do you want to comment on that and address maybe that confusion there, or if there's perhaps a discrepancy? We do have the ordinance before us. Ms. Amos has spoken to the language in the ordinance specifically. Okay, Ms. Amos, go ahead. You're recognized.
Sure.
Again.
So this section, the ordinance as it was filed, it removed the section entirely and re-added in some language. So the litigation requirements are different than the claims requirements. So for litigation where there is an actual lawsuit that Metro is a party to, that's different, and we treat those differently than we do our claims. So the claims division is more like an insurance piece, and then the litigation, all of those lawsuits, we're still going to be consulting with the department heads before we settle. This allows the folks in our claims division to settle claims under $25,000 without consulting with the department head first.
All righty. Ms. Swara, do you still seek to be recognized?
Vice Mayor, not a question, but maybe a clarification. These claims, even though we're contacting or consulting the department, are not paid from departmental budget. We have a separate line item for settling all these claims and stuff, right? So this is just like an FYI situation for them to know something that the Department of Law is doing that impacts the department. Is that correct?
That's correct. And the departments will still receive quarterly reports, and so will the council on claims that are below this amount. I think that language was kept in there so departments know if, trucks are getting into accidents more frequently or we're damaging property more frequently.
All right, Ms. Swire, does that address the concerns? Okay, or questions? All right, is there anyone else seeking to be recognized on this ordinance on second reading? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this has passed its second of 3 readings. Next is Agenda Item 72, Ordinance BL 2026-1358. Sponsors Toombs, Evan Siegel, Coopin, Vo, Gadd, Ellis, Cash, Taylor, Welsh, Benedict, and Horton. This is an ordinance amending certain sections and subsections of Chapter 2.62, Chapter 12.56, and Title 13 of the Metro Code of Laws to modify fees charged by the Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, NDOT, and make various other changes. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted to recommend a 2-meeting deferral, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and for the report of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Chair Evan Siegel.
The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee recommended a 2-meeting deferral, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, it's back to you, Ms. Toombs, for a motion on this bill.
Move for a 2-meeting deferral with a re-referral to committee.
All right, okay. Is there any further, there's a motion properly seconded for a 2-meeting deferral and a re-referral. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this is deferred 2 meetings. So it will be back on the agenda at the first meeting in June. All right, next is Agenda Item 73, Ordinance BL 2026-1359, sponsors Evan Siegel, Coopin, Vo, and Horton. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 13.32 of the Metro Code of Laws relative to removals of obstructions in the right-of-way. Councilmember Evan Siegel, sponsor, you are recognized.
Withdraw.
All right. This bill 1359 by Ms. Evan Siegel has been withdrawn. Okay. Next is Agenda Item 74, Ordinance BL 2026-1362, sponsors Allen, Ellis, Evan Siegel, and Spain. This is an ordinance requiring an annual review and an annual presentation to the Budget and Finance Committee of the Metropolitan Council from all boards, commissions, departments, and authorities offering tax abatement incentives. Ms. Allen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports, please.
Let's see, for the report of the Budget and Finance Committee, Chair Toombs, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance voted to defer the bill as amended 1 meeting, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, let me see, as amended, let me ask about our rule then. So the report then was a 1-meeting deferral, which typically by Rule 8.1 would be a mandatory deferral, but I think it was deferred as amended, though it's not really technically amended. Maybe you just recommended the amendment in committee. So is this a Rule 8.1 special counsel relative to the amendment and so forth?
Yes, Vice Mayor, this would be a Rule 8.1. The amendment can be refiled and reconsidered at the next meeting.
Okay, all righty.
So I will admit to a deferral with a brief explanation, if I might, 1-meeting deferral. Just want to thank my co-sponsors, and we'll bring it back.
All right, thank you. Okay. Agenda Item 76 is Ordinance BL 2026-1364, sponsors Bradford, Toombs, Horton, and Hill. This is an ordinance approving a lease agreement between the Metro government and Hessel Properties, GP, for the use of 74,374 square feet of office space located at 1283 Murfreesboro Pike. Councilmember Bradford, you're recognized. Okay, next in the order of sponsors is Ms. Toombs, Budget and Finance Chair. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports, Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, thank you for that report. Given that, would you like to make a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. No, page turner there. For the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee, Vice Chair Harrell. This is regarding property on Murfreesboro Pike, 1364, sponsor Bradford, Toombs, Horton, and Hill. Do you have a committee report, sir, for Planning and Zoning?
I do. So everything that we voted on for that, it was 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 no voting.
Okay. And for the report of the Government Operations and Regulations Committee, Chair Hill.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. We recommended approval, 7 in favor, 1 against, 0 not voting.
Okay. Thank you for that report. Okay, now it is back to you, Ms. Toombs, sponsor for a motion, please.
Move for approval.
Okay, there's a motion to approve and it's properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on this item? Councilmember Kimbrough, for discussion, you're recognized.
Thank you. I just wanted to be noted as a no on this, and I wanted just to say why. I believe that this is an abuse of taxpayer money. I think that this is too much to pay in rent starting year one with 1.6 million. Each year it goes up 3%. Year 10, it's over 2 million, especially in light of the fact that we have empty Metro buildings that we are not using, like schools. We have several schools that are just empty, and I just think we could make better use of taxpayer money. And for that reason, I'm voting against this. Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, this is on its second of 3 readings. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Okay, any abstaining? All right. Okay, now we are on to bills on third reading, section P of our agenda, items that were not on consent. First is agenda item 80, ordinance BL 2026-1255, sponsors Huffman, Horton, Coupin, and Spain. This is an ordinance amending chapter 13.08 of the Metro Code of Laws related to sandwich board signs in the public right-of-way. Councilmember Huffman, you are recognized first to get the bill before us, please, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move for approval.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I need to suspend the rules to get an amendment across.
Okay, Chair Cash? Okay, all right. Okay, so no report from the Rules Committee. There is a request to suspend the rules for purposes of offering an amendment. Is there any objection to the suspension of the rules? Seeing none, the rules are suspended. Go ahead, sir. You can make your motion to amend.
I'd like to move to amend with, move to amend and then I'll do the explaining after if that's okay.
Okay, sure. It's properly seconded. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, and thank you, colleagues, for allowing me to suspend the rules here. I appreciate your trust in me for that. The reason for the rules suspension is to get an amendment across that Metro Legal is comfortable with. For those that have not been following the trials and tribulations of sandwich boards, this bill has been withdrawn once. It's been deferred to its max, and we are here at the end. And I see a light at the end of the tunnel. We had this bill before Traffic and Parking a couple of weeks ago. Metro Legal presented some concerns at that meeting. Since that time, I've met with Metro Legal. We have resolved their concerns, and just to get it on the record, so you don't have to believe me, I would like to ask Metro Legal just to confirm that.
All right. Ms. Amos for the legal department, you're recognized. Go ahead, ma'am.
Sure. I can confirm that the attorneys in our office that represent the Traffic and Parking Commission are comfortable with this legislation as it's amended.
Okay. All righty. Go ahead, sir.
So just a brief explanation of some changes that we made. There was some expanding of the definition of what a sandwich board can include. There were some First Amendment protection situations there that were easily clarified through some language. Also, there was a section regarding 2 signs being allowed per location. We cleared that up to where 2 signs cannot be at the same entrance or exit. So, for example, if you've got a coffee shop that has 2 entrances, they could have 2 sandwich board signs. Outside of that, there was a change regarding the hours of display. Just to make it a little clearer, we have changed that to only being allowed Monday through Thursday in the downtown area during daylight times. Specifically, that is just to account for any potential tripping issues. Outside of that, colleagues, this legislation also has some weighting and stabilization components to it as well. Going through this for the past 6.5 months, I can confidently say that this is the most comprehensive sandwich board legislation in the country, and I ask for your support.
All right. So you've heard an explanation of some of those things that were incorporated in to the amendment. There is a motion to amend. Is there any other discussion regarding the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to amend, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, and if you would renew your motion, please, sir, for approval as amended.
Move to approve as amended.
All right. Is there any discussion on that motion? All right, so we will move to the vote. This does require 27 votes, giving the initial recommendation of the Traffic and Parking Commission. But again, as the sponsor has addressed in the legal department as well, the amendment addresses some of the concerns of the Traffic and Parking Commission, but even so, by procedure, and will we need to do a roll call? Okay, Mr. Clerk, if you would please open the vote for Agenda Item 80, 1255, approval on third and final reading as amended. So please dial in, colleagues, and let's open the vote. All votes are in. Mr. Clerk, please show the vote. All right. This has passed its third and final reading as amended with 29 votes in favor, no votes against, and 0 abstentions. Okay. Let's see. Next is Agenda Item 82. This is Ordinance BL 2026-1328, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Benton. This is an ordinance to amend Chapter 10.64.018 or 018 of the Metro Code to establish an updated fee schedule for the Fire Marshal's Office. Ms. Toombs, you are recognized, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Move to defer 3 meetings to the June 16th meeting.
Okay, there's a motion to defer 3 meetings to the second meeting in June. It's properly seconded. Is there any discussion on that deferral motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, all right. With that, that gets us to, oops, I was getting ahead of myself. Thank you, Special Counsel. Agenda item 88, ordinance BL 2026-1334, sponsors Bradford, Horton, and Evans Siegel. This is an ordinance authorizing the Metro government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing reservoir drain line and to accept new public sanitary sewer mains, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at 1431 Volte Boulevard, also known as Jetway Logistics. I know Councilmember Bradford is no longer here. Mr. Horton and Ms. Evans Siegel, that you are next sponsor by virtue of your chairmanship on this. Are you okay to take this one up?
And
Okay.
I have consented already to do so.
Okay, you are recognized then.
I would move for approval.
Okay. There is a motion to approve. Is there a second? All right, it's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, all in favor, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Allen. Go ahead, ma'am. You're recognized.
Thank you. I just need to be recorded as abstaining.
Okay, will do. Is there any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Any abstaining? Ms. Allen is an abstention. All right, that concludes this evening's agenda. Our next council meeting will be on Tuesday, May 19th. I will mention that in the meantime, Chair Toombs will have council's operational budget hearings well underway. And as well, Pro Tem Porterfield has requested a moment of personal privilege. Go ahead, Pro Tem, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I will be super fast, everybody.
Hang on, y'all, we're not yet adjourned. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I will be super fast, everybody. Thank you for all the beautiful birthday wishes on yesterday. But today is my daughter's 19th birthday. So I just wanted to tell Janiyah, happy birthday and good luck on your finals. She is a freshman in college and she's taking her last final tomorrow. So thank you.
Yay, and happy birthday to you as well. We are adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.